Bye. All right, welcome to speech 3. Today's about, well, as you can tell by the title, be thankful for everything. It's surprising what you take for granted until you've lost it. I did this speech last year, and something struck me recently, which I'll get to later in this slide, which made me decide to bring this up again. Rhetorical question: have you ever lost someone or missed someone, and you only realize you missed them until after they're gone?
Yes.
Like, say you stop talking to a friend, or someone moves away, and by rhetorical question, I didn't get any answer, because this is speech, not dialogue. It's one of those things that, not all the time, I'm not talking about like a major loved one, like a grandparent or something like that passed away. I'm talking about like someone that you were friends with, but you never really realized how much you like were attached to them until they left. It's surprising sometimes how that comes up. In high school, well, as you know, I had one major hospital visit, but actually I had 2 hospital visits in high school. I had 5 extremely close friends and a full family. And by full family, I don't mean anyone immediately died, but I did lose someone. My friends in high school were everything, like, as I'm sure your friends are to you. Mindy, the one on your far left there, was at my house almost every single day, including major holidays, because she came from a broken home and our family became her family. The 3 that are right next to me, the 2 girls to your left, my right, and the guy to my left, your right, were I've known since my first year in junior high, and I knew them all the way past high school. I've not talked to most of them in 4 years, and I've not talked to 2 of them, including Mindy, the person I spent every day with, in 11 years. I have not talked to these people, and these were my closest friends in high school. I didn't really, once again, it's one of those things, you don't really realize how close you are to people or how much you need them in your life until they leave your life. But, as I said, I've lost loved ones. This is my godfather. His name is Mike Abercon. I should say his name was Mike Abercon. He passed away in 2009 from a major heart attack. He was on the way back from a gig. He was a drummer. He was actually best friends with my mom and dad since they were in junior high, and I've known him my entire life. And when he passed away, I didn't hang out with him nearly enough. He was busy, he was a musician, he also teched drums. But after he left this world, I didn't realize how little, number 1, I spent time with him, and number 2, how much I missed having him around. If you ever want Rich to get really emotional, ask him about Mike Abercon. He is remembered. I can tell you this for certain. If you ever are curious and you go on Facebook and you type in Mike Abercon, his Facebook page is still up. And a lot of his friends and colleagues, we still post things on his Facebook, just saying what he meant to us, or little things that we remembered, like someone went to a gig and they remembered, the band doesn't seem the same because Mike wasn't back on the set. Stuff like that. So if you ever are curious, he's remembered. He made a difference to others. He's remembered in a way that makes me hope that when I leave this world, I'm remembered in such a positive light. Because everyone he came in contact loved him. I'm not saying he was perfect. He was by no means perfect. He was an alcoholic. He was divorced. His kids barely knew him. But no matter those things, everyone still had something positive to say about him. And I hope that I live my life in such a way. So here's the point. I'm changing the criteria, seniors, for this year. You don't have to come up with a whole list of things you want to be remembered as. All you need to do is come up with one sentence you want on your tombstone. So whether or not you're cremated or not, imagine you're going to have a tombstone, and at the end of your life, someone goes and visits your tombstone. What's the one sentence you want to be on that tombstone that expresses you? And the second thing I'm asking you to do is just say one person or persons, not a long list, but one person that you're really grateful for. And I always put this at the bottom not for a grade. It's for me. Because I do these speeches out of my own heart. This isn't something I'm required to do. So, it's for me. What I want to say on my tombstone, if I have one, I wish to be cremated, but if I had a tombstone, it would be, he loved freely and sought to live a life worthy of his calling. I feel my calling is education. I feel my calling is to be amongst the youth. I feel my calling is to build people and continuously, in my small way, hopefully make the world slightly better. So that's my sentence. This is what I hope to read for me. He loved freely, and he sought to live a life worthy of his calling. And the person I'm thankful for is my mother. There's a lot of people that affected me in my life, but if it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be who I am. She's the single strongest person I've ever known in my entire life, and she works harder than anyone I've ever known in my entire life. Most of my childhood, she was during the day taking care of me and my sister, then she would catch about 3 to 4 hours of sleep, do homework for either her nursing degree or her master's degree, and then go work a graveyard shift. Because that's what she had to do, to keep food on the table. And then she'd go to sleep, she'd wake up and take us to school, and then catch another nap, and then wake up and pick us up from school, and then help us out with school, and then eat and take another nap, and then wake up, do homework, and go back to work. So she's just awe-inspiring for me. So, to follow up on that, what you have now, and I've said this before, what you have now is worth more than you realize. The friends you have now, referring to my earlier slide, the people that you care about in life, as you leave high school, it becomes harder and harder for you to maintain contact with those people. Because as you go out and start your own lives, things come up to complicate life. People start families. People start work. People start schools. People move out of state. And I can't say this enough. Friendship is not something you're entitled to. Friendship is something you have to work at, just like a relationship. Every person you meet in life and wish to keep in your life, it takes work to keep those people in your life. And that was a big wake-up call for me. I mean, literally, I don't talk to anyone I went to high school with. Anyone, at this point in my life. There's a couple people that were freshmen when I was in high school, but I didn't really talk to them in high school. I didn't talk to them until after I graduated, for one reason or the other. So, maintain friends and have a great time in life. I know things are hard. As an everyday thing, every experience you have is new, and especially in high school. There's things you're dealing with now you haven't had to deal with before. So they may seem like the biggest things you've ever had to deal with, and they are. But all I can say as a point of motivation is all they do is set you up for the rest of life. Because things don't get easier. They never will. They will get more difficult, more time-consuming, and just more energy-draining than you've ever thought possible. So your experiences you have now set you up for later. The next video I'm going to show you, I hope, drives home the thought that everything you have is great and amazing to have. And the people I'm about to show you do everything they can just to have music in their life. This is just a preview for a documentary.
Mi nombre es Ada Maribel Ríos Bogado, tengo 13 años y toco el violín.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Eddie, tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
para tener un violín. De hecho, un violín cuesta más que su casa.
En ese grupo acá mismo encontramos el colado de violín. Y de ese empezamos los instrumentos reciclados. La familia que acá vive recicla todo lo que hay en la basura y se vende. No pensaba antes que yo voy a hacer ese instrumento. Y me siento demasiado feliz cuando estoy viendo a un niño que está tocando un violín reciclado.
Cuando yo escucho el sonido del violín siento como mariposas en el estómago, así una sensación que no sé cómo voy a explicar.
Bueno, la orquesta de instrumentos reciclados es una orquesta que toca instrumentos hechos con la basura.
1, 2, 3. The preview goes on more, but this orchestra is literally made out of trash. They can't afford instruments because they said at the beginning, the cost of an actual violin is more than most houses in that area. It costs more to buy a violin than it does to live with a roof over your head. So in order to have music, they have to scour through the trash and make instruments out of what comes in the trash. It's that important to them to have music in their life. And for those of you that couldn't read it, there's a girl talking at one point. She says when she hears her violin play, she gets butterflies in her stomach. Her violin's made out of recycled cans and pieces of metal that they strung together for string. Music means so much they're willing to dig through garbage and make something out of it in order to have music in their life. So the next time your instrument breaks down, or the next time you lose a piece on your instrument, or the next time your silk tears, or a rifle strap breaks, or one of the strings on the marimba break, think about how frustrated you might feel in a second, and then put that in reality of you have an instrument. Each of your instruments is worth more than these people's houses. Their houses, their entire house, your thing in your hand that you think is not that big of a deal. Or maybe you do, maybe you're grateful for that, and I'm thankful for that. But the thing you have, no matter how beat up it is worth more than this entire orchestra. Because they build it out of trash. That's how much music means to them. Would you go digging through a dumpster to put together an instrument? If your instrument broke, your clarinet broke, would you go into a forest and chop down a branch and then try and make a clarinet out of it because it means that much to you? If your euphonium broke, would you go scour recycled cans and try and piece something together? It means that much to these people. So put that in reality. What you have now, be grateful for it. And I'm not saying this is a matter of a guilt trip. I'm just trying to get you to realize life isn't as bad as you may think it is. In the next video, some of you might have seen this. This was a viral video for a while. But it's two brothers from the Philippines. The song that the youngest brother sings, he dedicates to his father, who at the time was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he ended up passing away from it. And he sings it, like if you see the original recording, it's a pretty bad recording in their backyard. But he sings it with such passion that it's become, well, viral. Everyone's watched this. This appearance is on Ellen.
So you put the...
No training, by the way.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother any
off, those two brothers live in a house with 5 other relatives in one bed. They all sleep in the same bed, one room. That's the Philippines for you. In the interview, him and his brother are kind of shy and a little dorky, but they're kids, so what do you expect? But it's not until you hear him sing. There's emotion there that goes beyond his ears. And there's a lot of great recordings of that song originally, but you can hear how much he wants his father to be in his life again. And for his father to be able to get up and be with him. Because when the video originally went viral, his father was bedridden. So it wasn't even able to get up and play with him or his brother. So I hope this puts more into context about your lives. That every single moment you have, and every single person you have in your life, is not forever. Relationships take work to maintain, and at any moment, human life is frail. I mean, statistically speaking, riding in a car here is the most dangerous thing you can do on a daily basis. So at any moment, that person that you said a mean word to, that person that you made fun of, or that friend that right now you're just not talking, could be gone. Be thankful for them. Be thankful for everyone and everything. Because you never know when it's going to be gone. And that's my speech.